Video 4 in the Coaching Chronicles, and I am happy to share that great coaches do really exist. And I'm excited to introduce you all to Lisa Stryker. I came across Lisa's content on LinkedIn in the late spring of 2022, and I started engaging with her posts because they really resonated with me. Lisa offered me a 90-minute introductory session, and during that time, I knew in my bones that she was the real deal and a great fit for me. But I was annoyed with myself for making the wrong choice with the first coach, so I held off on working with Lisa. My due diligence process ended up being over a year, and during that time, I followed all of Lisa's content and digested it. I watched all of her videos multiple times, and I participated in her workshops to observe more of her substance and style. And in September 2023, after agreeing on a roadmap with specific goals and timelines, I signed up for a 6-month engagement that I increased to 7. One of the best decisions I've ever made. She changed my world and the way that I think, which translates into how I feel. Light bulb moments. Now, don't get me wrong. This was one of the hardest things I've ever done. In fact, although I adore Lisa, there were many moments when I did not like her, because the process forced me to confront some very old yuck that I had been hiding from. I was at my lowest point around Thanksgiving of last year, but right before the new year, something shifted and I felt so different in a way that I never had before. Lisa really helped me transform. And that's not the easiest thing, because I'm a tough cookie on a few levels. I have very high expectations. I'm not super patient or gentle with myself, and I tend to view my own soft feelings as weakness, and I get very judgy about that. And a big part of my love of my work with people is the intersection of neuroscience, psychology, and human evolution. So while I'm no expert, I know a lot more than the average person, and that can make me skeptical at times and difficult to coach. I want to understand the science behind why something works. And there were times that I just had to go on faith when Lisa told me that something that seemed too simple would work. But she was right. So what did I learn? Well, being aligned about goals and timelines up front, pretty key. All of our appointments were booked months out to secure the time slots, and that was a big signal to me of Lisa's commitment to our work together. I learned that an internal transformation is very much like cleaning out your closet. It needs to get worse before it can get better. I found that the coach's approach and their ideas need to resonate with your problems. I am a classic overthinker, and Lisa talked about how she'd help people get past that and that she'd done it herself. When she talked about learning how to be a brain boss, I thought, yes, that's what I want. I learned that any coach must have tools that they can give you to keep. Otherwise, you're just paying to have a chat every week. And while yes, there's real science about the impact of saying things out loud, you can do that with a friend for free. I discovered that I needed someone with a tough edge that matches my own, or it wouldn't work. For me, there is no change without challenge, and I needed someone who would call me out on my BS. I learned to only work with people who care enough about your success to over-deliver. Not only did Lisa continuously ask me how I felt and if I was getting what I needed, she also frequently sent me additional materials and voice notes outside of our sessions. And that told me that she was thinking about how she could keep helping me. And I was reminded of how important it is to find that Mr. or Ms. Pac-Man, meaning someone who can eat feedback like pellets in the old video game and shift course in real time. Because there was one tough session where I felt Lisa wasn't responding to me in a way that was helpful, and I was pretty upset. I shared that, and to her credit, she didn't get huffy or push back on me. She acknowledged my feelings and adjusted accordingly. So I'll be back tomorrow with a wrap-up, including the number one most important takeaway about how to hire or not hire a coach.